Night falls without warning, and the world changes instantly. Temperature drops, visibility disappears, and movement becomes uncertain. This is the moment when control shifts away from you. You are no longer operating in your natural environment. You are now inside a hunting ground designed for something else. The darkness is not empty. It hides movement, intention, and threat. While you struggle to see, others are already adapting. They know how to move silently in low visibility, and they are already watching, waiting for weakness. During the day, survival is about movement and resources. At night, survival becomes about awareness and control. Your senses shift. Your vision weakens. Hearing becomes your primary warning system. Every sound now carries meaning. There are people who prepare for this moment. They spend the daylight hours observing and planning. They study patterns, routines, and weaknesses. They don't act randomly. They wait for the exact moment when you are vulnerable. That moment is when you sleep, when your guard drops and your body shuts down, when your awareness disappears completely. Sleep is not just rest. In survival, sleep becomes your greatest vulnerability. Most people believe danger is random, but in collapse conditions, it follows patterns. And one of the strongest patterns is time. Violence concentrates in specific windows, and those windows almost always happen at night. Between midnight and early morning, human awareness drops to its lowest point. Reaction time slows, decision-making weakens, and that is when predators move. They understand human biology better than most people do. They use it against you. Darkness gives them their advantage. They can approach closer without being detected. They can observe without being seen. And they can act before you even realize what's happening. By the time you wake up, it's already too late. The reality is simple but uncomfortable. Most attacks happen when people are not prepared, when they assume they are safe, when they choose comfort over awareness. That decision becomes fatal. The people who don't survive are not always unlucky. They make predictable mistakes. They sleep in exposed areas. They ignore patterns of danger. And they underestimate the night. Your body needs sleep. You cannot fight biology forever. After one day without sleep, your performance drops sharply. After 2 days, your mind begins to fail. Ignoring sleep is not survival. It is self-destruction. But sleep does not have to mean vulnerability. It can be controlled. It can be planned. It can be structured to reduce risk. The difference is knowledge. You can choose where you sleep. You can choose when you sleep. And you can choose how you sleep. Each decision reduces your exposure to danger. Each decision increases your chances of survival. Location is everything. Where you sleep determines whether you wake up. Some places make you visible. Some places make you vulnerable. And some places give you a fighting chance. Sleeping on the ground floor is a mistake. It makes access easy. It reduces your reaction time. And it increases your exposure. Elevation gives you advantage. Windows are another risk. They expose light, movement, and position. They turn you into a visible target. Even a small light can be seen from far away. Control your visibility. A single entry point is easier to defend. Multiple entrances create multiple threats. You cannot watch everything at once. Simplify your environment. Reduce the number of ways someone can reach you. Concealment is stronger than defense. If no one knows you are there, you are already safer. Avoid noise. Avoid light. Avoid patterns. Disappearance is a survival strategy. Visibility invites danger. Sleep timing must change. Normal routines will get you killed. Long, uninterrupted sleep increases risk. Short, controlled rest periods reduce exposure. Adaptation is survival. The night belongs to those who prepare for it. Those who understand it survive. Those who ignore it don't. Every decision you make before sleeping matters. Because the moment you close your eyes, everything changes. Once you accept that sleep is a risk, you begin to control it. You stop thinking of sleep as comfort. You start treating it like a calculated exposure. Every minute you rest must be planned, because uncontrolled sleep is what predators are waiting for. Your sleep cycle must adapt to the environment. One long sleep period makes you predictable. Predictability creates vulnerability. Breaking sleep into shorter cycles reduces exposure. You stay functional without becoming an easy target. The most dangerous hours are between 2 and 4 a.m. This is when your body reaches deepest sleep. Your reaction time is at its lowest point. Your awareness is almost completely gone, and that is exactly when attacks are most likely. Avoid deep sleep during this window. Stay semi-alert if possible. Use shorter rest cycles instead of full shutdown. Your goal is not perfect rest. Your goal is survival through the night. Daylight becomes your recovery time. When visibility increases, risk decreases. That is when longer sleep becomes safer. Shift your routine to match the threat. Adaptation keeps you alive. If you are in a group, never allow everyone to sleep at once. Someone must always be awake. Alertness must rotate between members. Fatigue is shared, but awareness must remain constant. This is how groups survive long-term threats. Watch shifts must overlap. Never leave a gap between transitions. One person wakes the next before resting. Communication stays continuous. A single moment of silence can be fatal. Security is not a single action. It is a system built in layers. Each layer adds time and warning. Each layer increases your reaction window. And time is the most valuable resource during an attack. The first layer is the perimeter. Simple noise traps can alert you early. Loose objects, debris, or improvised alarms. Anything that creates sound when disturbed. Silence is broken before danger reaches you. The second layer is entry control. Doors and windows should never be silent. Every entry point must create noise when opened. Even a small sound can wake you. That sound becomes your warning system. The third layer is the room itself. Keep it simple. Keep it controlled. Limit movement inside your space. You need to know exactly where everything is. Confusion wastes time, and time costs survival. The fourth layer is personal readiness. Your tools must be within reach. You cannot search for them in the dark. Every second matters when waking under threat. Preparation removes hesitation. The final layer is escape. You must have a secondary exit. Not planned, tested. You need to know it works before you need it. Escape is always an option. If you are alone, the rules become stricter. There is no one to wake you, no one to warn you, no one to take your place. You are your only line of defense. Train yourself to sleep lightly. Deep sleep increases danger. You need to wake quickly to small sounds. Your body must adapt to partial rest. This skill takes time, but it saves lives. Position matters even while sleeping. Avoid open spaces. Use corners or walls to limit approach angles. Reduce the directions from which you can be attacked. Control your environment, even in rest. Stay ready even while resting. Keep your clothing on. Keep your gear close. You may need to move instantly. Preparation removes delay. Never sleep in the same place repeatedly. Patterns are easy to track. Movement keeps you unpredictable. Unpredictability keeps you safe. Routine creates exposure. Avoid creating signs of presence. No visible light. No unnecessary noise. No obvious sleeping areas. The less you reveal, the safer you remain. The goal is simple. Be hard to find. Be hard to reach. And be ready to respond instantly. Everything else is secondary. Concealment is your first real defense. If they cannot detect you, they cannot plan against you. Every visible sign increases your risk. Light, movement, and sound all reveal your position. Your goal is to disappear completely within your environment. Light discipline is critical. Even the smallest light source can be seen from far away. A single flashlight beam can expose your exact position. At night, light travels further than you think. Control light or it will control your fate. Sound travels differently at night. With less background noise, even small sounds carry further. Footsteps, breathing, and movement become easier to detect. You may think you are quiet, but you are not silent. Control your noise or it will guide others to you. Even your breathing matters. Heavy breathing can reveal stress and location. Control your rhythm. Slow your body down. Silence begins with your own control. Scent can also expose you. Humans often ignore this factor. But certain environments carry smell over distance. Smoke, food, and sweat can all signal your presence. Minimize what you leave behind. If someone is searching for you, they are looking for patterns. Light sources, movement, noise. Any sign of human activity becomes a target. The less you reveal, the harder you are to detect. Invisibility is survival. The moment you wake up is critical. You are disoriented. Your awareness is low. Your reaction is delayed. This is when mistakes happen. Do not move immediately. Movement creates noise and reveals position. Instead, pause. Listen first. Let your senses catch up before acting. Your ears are your first line of defense. Scan for movement. Identify direction. Separate natural sounds from unnatural ones. Your response depends on accurate information. Only after you assess should you act. Reach for your tool first. Then prepare to move. Never move unprepared. Every action must be deliberate. Light should be your last option. Using light reveals your position instantly. Only use it when necessary. And when you do, control it carefully. Light is both a tool and a risk. Fear is natural. You will feel it. Your body reacts to the unknown. But fear must be controlled, not ignored. Uncontrolled fear leads to bad decisions. Calm thinking saves lives. Even under pressure, you must slow your thoughts. Focus on actions, not emotions. Clarity is your advantage. Fatigue will always be present. You will never feel fully rested. Your body will demand more sleep. But survival requires balance. Enough rest to function, but never enough to lose awareness. Mistakes happen when people relax too soon. Comfort creates vulnerability. The moment you feel safe is the moment you are exposed. Never let your guard fully drop. Survival requires constant discipline. One of the most common mistakes is routine, sleeping at the same time, in the same place, in the same way. Predictability creates opportunity. Another mistake is distance from your tools. If your equipment is not within reach, it is useless. You do not have time to search. Everything must be ready before you sleep. Preparation eliminates delay. Ignoring warning signs is fatal. If something triggers your attention, respond immediately. Do not assume it is nothing. Investigate carefully. Early reaction prevents escalation. Trust is another risk. Not everyone is what they appear. In survival conditions, desperation changes behavior. Be cautious. Verify before you rely on anyone. The night tests discipline. It exposes weakness. It punishes mistakes. But it can be survived. If you understand it and respect it. By now you understand one thing clearly. The night is not empty. It is active, aware, and unpredictable. While you try to rest, others are moving. And some of them are looking for you. Movement in the night is different. It is slower, quieter, more deliberate. Predators don't rush, they wait. They observe patterns before acting, and they strike only when success is guaranteed. You are not just hiding, you are managing exposure. Every action either increases or decreases risk. Even small mistakes add up over time, and eventually they get noticed. Your environment is not neutral. It either protects you or exposes you. Lighting, layout, sound, and structure all matter. You must read your surroundings constantly. Awareness never stops, even in rest. Sometimes the safest move is to relocate. If a place feels compromised, it probably is. Instinct matters in survival. Do not ignore warning signals. Leaving early is better than reacting late. Speed matters when moving at night. But speed without control creates noise, and noise creates detection. You must balance movement with silence. Controlled movement is survival movement. Shadows are your ally. Use them. Stay within them. Move between them. Light reveals, shadows conceal. Doors and openings are danger zones. They limit your options. They expose your movement. Always approach them carefully, and never assume they are safe. Corners are another risk point. You cannot see what's beyond them, and what's beyond may already see you. Clear them slowly. Never rush blind. Silence is information. When everything goes quiet, something has changed. Natural environments always have sound. If it suddenly disappears, pay attention. That silence is a warning. Your body will want to panic. Heart rate increases. Breathing becomes heavy. Focus breaks. You must control this response. Slow your breathing. Lower your heart rate. Stabilize your body. Clear your mind. Control restores awareness. Decision-making under pressure is everything. Hesitation can cost seconds, and seconds can cost your life. Train yourself to act with clarity. Even when fear is present, not every threat is visible. Sometimes danger is already close, already watching, already waiting. You must assume exposure is always possible. Distance does not equal safety. Threats can approach silently. They can close space without warning. You must maintain awareness in all directions. There is no safe side. Your greatest advantage is preparation. You cannot control the night, but you can control how you respond to it. Preparation reduces uncertainty, and uncertainty is what creates fear. Survival is not about strength. It is about discipline, consistency, awareness, and controlled behavior under stress. Every night you survive builds experience. Every mistake teaches a lesson. Every close call sharpens your instincts. You adapt or you fail. There is no middle ground. The goal is not comfort. The goal is survival. Comfort makes you slow. Comfort makes you careless. And carelessness gets you killed. At this point, you are no longer reacting. You are thinking ahead, planning before problems appear, anticipating threats before they form. This is where survival becomes control. At this stage, survival is no longer reaction. It is anticipation. You begin to think like the threat. You understand how predators move, think, and wait. And that understanding becomes your advantage. You stop seeing yourself as a victim. You stop reacting emotionally. You start analyzing everything around you. Every sound, every shadow, every movement. Awareness becomes constant. The night does not change. It remains dangerous. It remains unpredictable. But you change. And that is what keeps you alive. You no longer fear the dark blindly. You understand it. You respect it. And because of that, you control your actions within it. Fear becomes awareness. Sleep is still a risk. That never changes. But now it is controlled risk. You choose when, where, and how. You reduce exposure with every decision. Every layer you build adds protection. Every habit you form increases survival chances. Every mistake you avoid keeps you alive longer. This is not luck. This is discipline in action. There will still be danger. There will still be risk. There will still be moments of uncertainty. But now, you are ready for them. And readiness changes outcomes. The difference is simple. Unprepared people hope to survive. Prepared people expect to survive. Hope is not a strategy. Preparation is. Every night is a test of awareness, a test of discipline, a test of control. And only those who pass it wake up. The moment you wake up, you have already won something. You survived another night, another period of vulnerability, another test of your system. But survival is not one victory. It is repeated success, night after night, decision after decision. Mistake avoided after mistake avoided. The system you build must be consistent. It must work when you are tired, when you are stressed, when you are not thinking clearly. Because those are the moments that matter most. You are not trying to eliminate danger. That is impossible. You are reducing risk, managing exposure, controlling outcomes where you can. Every action has a purpose now. Nothing is random. Nothing is careless. Everything is deliberate. That is how survival becomes sustainable. And then you realize something important. You are no longer just surviving the night. You are operating within it, adapting to it, using it to your advantage. You have become harder to find, harder to approach, harder to surprise, and harder to defeat. That is real survival. This is the difference between those who disappear and those who endure, between those who panic and those who prepare. The night will always be dangerous. That will never change. But your response to it can, and that response determines everything. So remember this. Sleep is vulnerability, but controlled vulnerability is survival. Discipline keeps you alive, and awareness keeps you ready. Sleep smart. Sleep ready. Survive the night. Because every morning you wake up is proof that you did it right.